Hello everyone, so today we're going to talk about an order-powered build. It's called the AMMSMAA. I don't know if I got that right, but it's just this thing, and it's a pretty solid strategy, especially with some additions we've made in the last 2 years, like banning crawlers animation canceling against minor walls, and also some micro techniques with the sword. So I'll discuss that in a little bit. Um, this build has 3 phases, I'd say, most of them in the early game. The first phase is fighting off the first 3 crawlers for the center tower with your archer. You can watch this great video talking about how to maximize this part of the game. So I'll just skip over that. After that, about a minute later, Chaos will have maybe 6 crawlers and 2 bombers chasing your sword. So usually you'll send your sword to the Chaos base to scout for cat upgrades, and also because it provides a threat to their miners. So Chaos usually sends at least 2 crawlers, if not all their crawlers, to deal with the sword, which lets you take center for free. And then yeah, so you can scout him and stuff. Then phase 3, Chaos dealt with the sword. They have, rising crawler bomber numbers, so this is the time you really need a wall down. This usually happens somewhere between when you have 6 to 9 miners, depending on what they're doing and how phase 2 and phase 1 went. So yeah, you want to aim to get the wall somewhere between your 5th, this is the 5th miner, your 5th and your 9th miner. I'd say earlier, if you notice the enemy has cat upgrades, or if they have 3 bombers and some cats, because they can just run at your archers and it's very hard to space that properly. And you want to get it later if they're going for like an early jug or early wing, or they're just kind of ecoing up. And then after that point, some transitions you can get pretty large eco. This is usually what I do and what I recommend. You want to get around 17 miners, so that's 13 on gold and 4 on mana, and then get passive 3. And then usually you go into either archer mass or no archers. You can also go into archer mass straight away on a lower eco, and sometimes that can be good, especially against opponents who are going for wings or jugs early. No archer build can be good against like spellcaster spam. So yeah, now let's go check out a video. Alright, so now we have a video up. This is from Sir Ethan's channel. Good stuff.
Focus Chaos for OvC because
And we're going to see the archer coming in and doing the techniques from the other video. So yeah, pretty much the archers try and contest tower, force Chaos to either make some risky moves with their cats or give up tower. In this case, the Chaos player makes some pretty aggressive plays, and it doesn't really work out here. It is pretty close though. So yeah, this first game I'd say is pretty good for order. The second game I'll show is not as good, and we'll discuss that also. But yeah, so you can see order doesn't actually go for the sword scout this game because they got 2 crawler kills, so like any cat upgrade builds are already going to be a lot weaker, and they see like a constant stream of cats to defend tower. So those things alone is usually good enough to not really worry about upgrades. We see the sword try to go for the scout, but it's a little too low health, so it just backs off. But here, Order can get an earlier minor wall, to account for the fact that they didn't scout for upgrades, because now Chaos has like 7, 8 crawlers, which is enough to kill 3 archers if they have both upgrades. So that's about it. I'm mainly focusing on the early game, but you can see the 3 archers there and the wall. So that's a pretty standard setup. It's hard for Chaos to break this until they have like mid-game units. Cat upgrades can be okay, but if Order gets up to like 5 or 6 archers, the cat upgrades does not trade that well against the wall. So yeah, and then let me just skip ahead a bit so you can see the transition. So Chaos is going for Wing Jug, and then you can see Order has like mainly archers, and then 1 or 2 spears for health and like stability on center, and then some Merrics. And they'll get ninjas for Medusas, and the late game plan is going for giants or tower spawn too. Anyways, though, this video is more focused on the early game, so let me switch off this video and go to a different one. Alright, so this video Order did not do as well. Let me go to the start.
Alright. Jesus, every time.
Sound on. So Order's going for some pressure. Now the Chaos player is doing a good job of spreading the damage on the crawlers. And Order actually messes up a little bit there. There's just a little extra time. Well, it's kind of hard to show, but they kind of missed a few shots. Made like half a shot. And they didn't get any crawler kills. So this is already quite a bit worse for Order. We should see the Sword Scout coming in soon. There are upgrades. So it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if 75. He didn't look at it. But you can see on the minimap that this little red dot here is the scouting sword. So it sees all the miners getting mana, but that's not really indicative of upgrades. I think usually what's more important is that you see, if you see like 9 chaos units, so maybe 6 cats and 3 bombs, or like 8 cats and 5 or 6 miners, then it's probably not upgrades. And this depends on the time that your sword scout comes in also. I don't know what time this is since it's cut off, but it's probably like 1:45. You just have to scout a lot to get a feel for these things, but Chaos has 7 miners and a good amount of cats, so it's very unlikely that they also have upgrades. They just don't have the money for that at this point in the game. Now the Sword Scout does see a lot of mana though, so you still want to get the wall at some point. So I think so. Our Order has 3 archers right now, but the first archer took some damage, so right now it's garrisoned. Usually 3 archers is good enough to deal with the early aggression. Sometimes if Chaos has 3 bombers, it can be a little dangerous. And then Order is building a wall right now. And yeah, so you'll notice another thing is that Order doesn't pressure the Chaos player. There's the wall, but Order doesn't pressure the Chaos player with like more Archer Sword spam. It can be fine sometimes, but it's pretty risky to pull off when crawlers and bombers exist. So we'll just skip ahead a little bit. Order ends up losing this match, so I'll skip ahead a bit more. These are like the different ways that these early games can play out. So yeah, Chaos tries to attack with the upgraded crawlers, but they're actually pretty good against 3 archers. I think the crawlers do break through the wall here, maybe. Maybe not. They probably could have though. Usually you want maybe 5 archers against that many crawlers. And then let me skip ahead a bit so we can see what the mid game will look like. This mid game is a little different. Let's skip a bit more. So Chaos went for Spellcaster spam with Minor Tower support and Jug spam. And you can see that Order has the same kind of setup, 2 spears, there was a ninja over here, a few medics, and then mainly archers. And archers are just like really cost effective, so that's kind of why you want these ratios, like usually no more than 2 spears and around 3 medics is usually good. So yeah, that's the build. It's pretty strong, so let me know what you think and put any comments and questions in the comment section below. And thanks for watching. Bye bye.